Yeah.
You're probably not going to expect to do better on that map than your kind of home region. And in that game, you know, I just have the stats in front of me here. Liazzi, who's playing the Jet, who's going to be the counterpart.
Not for long, but I definitely will.
You know, was 0 on KD. So as many kills as deaths, and I just feel like, well, that's a very simplified way of looking at it.
I'd actually be so
upset.
upset.
Are you like watching a dog? When Asina's going to be that the real linchpin.
They got it.
And do you feel like the gap is just a little bit too big here? Is this an issue of just getting outclassed?
Dog's really easy to handle too.
But I just think there's just so much.
There's
so much firepower in the support that 100 Thieves provide that it doesn't just come down to those 2 players, but just what 100 Thieves do as a holistic entity.
Yeah, well, we are into the Prime Gaming Agent select here. I think, again, all eyes on Asuna there for that Reyna. It's going to be a little bit difficult for them to kind of be able to pull up with the numbers that we saw in the map before. But of course, Steel over here, 100% on Killjoy. We're not expecting that KO. We didn't really get to see too much of what he can do, any of the geeky stuff on KO before.
I don't think he meant it how you
like
thought.
predicted Bala here, Ethan in there.
I don't think he meant,
You think this is getting a little bit scary?
Yeah,
still very mean.
You know, I really, you know, when we see Crane pick this over again, of course, that's kind of what we expected. And we had him have a pretty decent game. It's not necessarily, you know, a scary time for them. They're going to go in with their own game plan and see how it works out, because it doesn't necessarily mean, you know, it's the matchups, how the first round goes, how the second round goes, and then from there you move around with the plan. ICEBOX is one where you can kind of just go for it in a lot of instances, and yeah, you have to be prepared for the smoke combos with Asuna, but it is something that you can deal with.
Well, Bala, you don't believe in them, but Havan Liberty, they do have a chance to get back into this game. And let's head over to the casters. I know, Rib, you definitely believe in them.
Thank you, Sue. Look, I'm a sucker for a Cinderella story too, right? Like, I want to see some of that happen, but I do kind of subscribe to Bala's notion of no. I will say this, though. I will say this.
Okay, say it.
When was the last time you saw a Reyna and a Jet on the map?
It's been a while. It's actually been a while since that was on the same team, but it does look like that spice is going to be delivered over to the side of Havan Liberty here to start this one off with Shion.
As soon as on Reyna?
Looking back at his past, there is that breach for him. I'm sure he's thrown in the Reyna, comfortable on it. Like we said, Havan Liberty has the variety they can get to. As we see, Pletz changing up, Neeson changing up, Crane back on his Sova. But I think we'll get a little more spice here out of Havan Liberty, a little more forward with the rest of the team, and not just Liazzi trying to make things happen himself after the utility.
So Viper's Wall goes up, and the thing about this Viper's Wall for the attacking side is you've got to get really deep in to get value out of that wall. You've got to get past 410. You've got to get onto site proper to make something happen, and the problem is you've got Asuna on the Reyna there, and she does not give up an inch, and it looks like she wants to go hunting for more. She goes up top, able to get the second one, looking for the third, and line him up and knock him down, baby. Asuna picking up right where he left off.
Oh my god, roll. Oh my goodness, relax.
Hiko finds one. Will it be another one? The full house of
another one.
over Hiko's on this.
Bless you.
And it looks like
He bought a ghost, I think.
taking their time. He's down to 5 HP.
He
said,
sucks.
now it's your turn. Now it's your turn.
Oh, he got 2?
Steel's gonna take that one with a
thought he got
ghost,
flat.
but again. Oh my word. Asuna just said, yeah, let's keep going, and presented himself for more engagements.
Yeah. And look,
oh
man,
my
like,
word.
when you've got those two duelists, you've got to be able to create
Yeah,
space.
he had
You've
one, he
got
just
to be
didn't
able to
use it.
match that firepower. And
Actually,
that's
didn't need to at that time.
You're asking to
Got
match
messed up after the
firepower
fact.
against a world-class Reyna. World-class. That's
Absolutely.
a big ass, bro.
He's happy to do that. Vandal, Ares,
GG.
Spectre, Marshall,
Go next.
Spectre, they going right into the weapons and dipping in pretty deep as well for Asuna. He feels strong on this. He's going to get right up on pipes, and he's going to get ready for an engage. Backs it up just to play safe after the destroy of that solar ball.
Havan Liberty leaning towards A again. Did not buy up anything beyond pistols.
Little Shion Ghosty. That's about it.
Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my gosh!
It's just a
Ethan,
tag,
good
right?
for a second.
101 on that damage. Not much has been purchased on the other side. Asuna with the rope play.
One enemy remaining.
Well, Riv.
All quiet on the western front until it happens again.
It's map 1 again. It's it's early, but we're seeing a lot of the same things, right? Like, Asuno's just playing recklessly, and he's doing that without any fear, and he's not getting punished for it at all.
And the mental actually changes here a little bit for 100 Thieves, because Havan was able to find their way into A on Ascent, make things work for themselves, and then you saw 100 Thieves say, no, we'll start taking rounds. Here, Havan still comes in with the same aggression, but 100 Thieves knows much more about how that precedent is played, how they're going to be moving, and even if they're going to see that much util, we haven't seen too much of that as Havan's moving through.
Right. All right, Havan Liberty going to have rifles across the board. Hiko's still rocking the Ghost.
No, dude.
I mean, really, across the board.
Don't tell me.
Not a little bit, but that's
all
before. Going on.
It ain't so.
All the way
I will not go.
Along with
the lights off.
Right, and no Lears on this, so they're supposed to take maybe with a drone.
Carry me home.
They do have Owl there.
Keep your head still.
Got a quick pause coming in, but looking just how the buys are, they are obviously going to have to play around this differently. You have Reina for the flashes for the plays. How do you work that without the flash? What becomes your ability, as the desk even said, to draw more out of 100 Thieves before you're getting into their homeland? Like before you're behind enemy lines, you need to extract a bit of that strength out of your opposing team.
I think, and it was Gio who mentioned, and she makes a really good point, because, again, in the previous map, they were doing that. They were getting all of that space. They were investing the utility, but it was 100 Thieves was willing to give it away, right? So, and to kind of combine that with the point you were making, it does provide a false sense of confidence.
No way.
Right? Like, oh, we're able to work mid, we're able to take some space away here. There's nothing that's being given
heroic
free.
for
They can't get past
Team Liquid.
Right.
I saw that on Twitter. I don't know what happened, but apparently
it was a 1v5.
It is a very scary start.
Go into
we'll see
OT.
What Havan Liberty can continue to produce. Looking back at the stats for ICEBOX for both of these teams, again, the stats come from about 4-1 right there in April. That was stage 2 for a lot of areas. Yes, there were changes, but I feel like it gave a robust idea of what maps were played and how they would have fared. And that's 14 plays since that stage 2 to 17 plays. So 14 for 100 Thieves, 17 plays on ICEBOX here for the side of Havan. So they feel comfortable. It's something that they're continuously competitive on, but it's 79% win rate to 65. So while still being close, you can see the discrepancy, and 100 Thieves is going to push those buttons as soon as they can.
That's so sad.
And I think the slight, it's a slight difference, but it's a difference nonetheless. Havan Liberty's attack half is technically better than their defensive half. So once again, we find ourselves playing the game of what's the magic
Actually, if you ever
right? Like, you want to put yourself in a position in the second half. You've got to get to a sweet spot, because this is supposed to be your area of strength.
So many one-on-ones.
As best as you can, that's going to happen in the second half. You've got to make something happen here on attack.
They love it. They love this. Like, it's like, I want to say calisthenics, but it's for your brain. They're just kind of, you know, getting that reaction time up, making sure their fingers are warm. You see just about every professional gamer do
I can't believe
that's
how they ended up winning, though.
Even when you're playing Valorant, you're still switching to your knife. We all do it.
Legendary.
Obsessively.
You guys are very
Nitro hanging
cute.
out, everybody just patiently waiting for
get a
this
room.
quick tech pause to go through.
Down here.
And we'll get right back into the game. ICEBOX here between 100 Thieves and Havan Liberty. 100 Thieves showing up.
The kitty.
A lot of the fans are very,
they don't really,
very happy about
it just
that.
goes
You know there would have been stories, Doug, that they aren't as strong. They didn't beat
and
the
then
teams like G2
back
did,
around.
like the European, like EMEA did.
Goes into the air
But
again.
now we're seeing that. Looks like they may stave off those claims
This time
from
it's
the
all
fans.
muffled. They don't
Over the
really know what we're
haters.
saying.
And Havan Liberty has some work to do here in their group.
They do. They certainly have a good bit of work to do. And so, like, statistically, right, I think it was you who said it earlier, you walk into this matchup and
They should just forfeit. They're not going to win.
The betting odds, right, they're towards 100 Thieves, right? Like,
For sure.
Just call it. Everybody go home.
Just get to
Havan
Berlin?
Liberty,
Yeah, I quit.
do think,
I lost first map, I give up.
It kind of feels like what I'm reaching for here. But the silver lining is this. You're getting reps on land. You're getting reps against one of the best
much
teams
as
in the
like
world.
anybody else,
And
Brazilians do not give up.
you've got another
They have no
series
quit in
against a
them.
team that's likely
No matter
not
what,
of the
even if
same
they're down bad.
caliber as 100 Thieves. So
We're
there
back?
is value
We're
here.
live?
They're just going to have to extract
Looking
it. It's gonna be
live.
a pulling teeth. This time for Havan Liberty, looking to work the middle of the map, which is a slight difference from what we've seen so far. As they work their way up tube, leaning towards B, you've got a couple on long, and they've taken some of the space away. Nitro.
Oh my god, what a Chad.
It's in a good spot, but Asuna cleans up Let's already.
I love it.
This is a brutal spot for Havan Liberty, right? Like, they're being pinched in around. Yes, Asuna was able to clear out, but Steel's going to follow up right where he left off. They are stuck right now, and there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, maybe they should
suffocate their opponents. 100 Thieves are dominating Havan right now.
For those moments on the mini-map, you can see them peeking back and forth. They're gaining a bit of ground, but Ethan able to find that. And for the moment they were by orange, they were moving up to the spike plant area.
Weird.
You could see on the mini-map Havan's emblems.
I gotta see this 1v5.
Back and forth. What angles next? Where are they coming from? As you said, they were getting pinched by 100 Thieves here. 3-0 as we flex back into a partial by Marshals here, as Havan wants to test some things out maybe a little bit with buying continuously. It is going to hurt them, but if they start getting some orbs, they can start to capitalize a little earlier if they get
especially
Marshal
like
kills. Just putting everything on the table here. They actually go back with Shion's, and they're just a ghost there, so they will have money.
1v5 is a big fuck up.
Yeah.
You can tell.
I think it happens in this game, like,
the setup is definitely leaning towards the middle of the map, which kind of makes sense. You're expecting them to bring nothing. Well, they're not. So they want to lean that way, but they're going to rotate back off. There you see some of the gun difference in full display as Steel's able to get the opener. And you know, one of the difficult things is you take a look at the first two rounds and then the previous one, like, you go mid to play away from Asuna, right? Like, Asuna's been the thorn in their side. Yeah, and he just goes mid, right? Like, no place is safe.
I'm like watching the clip already. I'm like, no way they lose.
Yeah.
On 4-box.
Like, they had this dude surrounded. Lee going through the smoke is troll. They gave this guy way too much respect, letting him get that close to Dark.
Who was also firing shots. And again, this is a cleanup.
It was like, it started off, it was a 5v1, and it's like, alright, well, they're just holding to kill him. And then they lost.
And then,
yeah, they lost 2, and then they're like, alright, focus up, let's win this.
Yeah,
and then they turtled up.
Yeah. So much respect. You can't let them get that close on you,
gaming
though.
flawless as 100 Thieves, as we mentioned, they really just kind of picked up right where they left off on Ascent. They are showing no signs of slowing down. Havan Liberty, they look stunned, right? Like, they look like they got hit in the jaw. Their eyes are blurry. They don't know where to look. They don't know what's going on. They're in trouble.
Dude, the Phantom just gives you kills by accident.
They get a frag there. Steel's alarm bot is being triggered. The information is just falling into their lap. And then they can, again, push forward. They know they have Havan Liberty on edge, and that's one of the biggest strengths for 100 Thieves right now, is being a team that knows when you have your opponent on their heels. And here we'll see.
They're owning so hard that they haven't even upgraded guns. Ethan's just chilling. Marshall in it. Oh my dude, he can't miss right now.
Oh, and he's different on this operator.
Surely, okay.
I love how when he kills people up there and knocks them down. Good.
You've got to get value out of this. You have to get value out of this, right? Look at how far up Nitro is on B-Long, right? Like, he's taking all of that space away as the fight continues on it.
And they've actually mid-round swapped it up. Now drop. All right, that was just pacing. It was like the hockey stick being down. He couldn't grab it right away. Meeson takes down Nitro.
Pretty big.
How do they play this? This is where Havan needs to feel out how 100 Thieves is working, because this round can play mentally into mid rounds. Havan Liberty.
They said we had enough of your shit.
100 Thieves starts to move here.
Stop being on that rope.
So this is really the first bit of space they've gotten really anywhere across the map, right? Like, they have B-Long control. Now they have A control. They're able to get the spike down, the walls up, and you take a look at Meeson, right? He's rotating. Keep an eye on him on the minimap. He's going to rotate all the way around, has a chance to blow this up. And this is the type of play. This is the type of round that can really shift momentum. It's got to be big.
And he's just going to miss
They're
him.
using the utility on site. Meeson's going to get those calls. The shots are fired, and now he only creates pressure. 100 Thieves know they can go harder in the site now.
And he wasn't able to get the kill. Yeah, now, he go drop. Shion gets 3.
Round.
And Havan Liberty get on the board.
They played him for fools.
Havan Liberty beautifully played with opening frags, figuring out how to slow it down after losing a member, and then getting it back. So, as I said, sometimes you see around 4, 5, 6, ultimates come in. They're the way a team can capitalize. We've heard players say it all the time. There's a lot of ults that can just solidify the round. And here, Havan Liberty works very well around 100 Thieves to make it count. Can they keep it up, though, is the question. 100 Thieves usually adapts well. Havan Liberty's trying to throw the curveballs here.
Very similar defensive setup for 100 Thieves.
Oh, there you go.
But, yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of different pace at the beginning of the round. As you said, Shion's able to get another one, drop Hiko, and give Havan Liberty the numbers advantage. They also have 2 key ultimates to get this round, but it's quiet. They've cut noise. Very patient here, trying to see if 100 Thieves are going to play a bit aggressively. They have shown a propensity to do that.
They didn't bring out the ops.
Snap in this one. So they're gonna wait things out, and Ethan has got so much information, and he's good for one. Drops down, finds the second one as well.
Playing peekaboo over here. Saw him a few times. Changes place, double TP with a fake one on top of that, and now with a minute left, there's a lot of time.
I would have saved that one in case I needed to dip out of there, but hey.
Where can they grab an operator
Yeah,
shot?
they weren't even close.
They weren't sure. They're not gonna like. Either way, they're clearing Gen.
Loves using that drone to move
I was gonna
forward.
say they weren't even close enough to. I mean, he thought they were obviously,
Drop out
but
for info.
they probably didn't even hear that.
Slowly creep forward. Their leader's gonna drop even.
Wish he had the TP there. Saved his life.
Able to clean him up. They get control of A. They are going to be able to get onto the site, but this is still going to be a bit of a difficult situation here. They do have the numbers advantage, but Seal does have his ult. He's got to stay alive, though, to make it work. Asuna is going to be able to equalize things as far as numbers go, as he's looking for more. Yep, lines up, gets a second.
That guy's throwing, by the way.
Yeah,
whoever's on top right there is literally
Nobody has
tossing.
any armor. Seal has 3 health, but he's going in aggressive. He's going to get cleaned up. Asuna, good for 2. Liazi trades him out. Nitro in the 1v1. He's got
Ooh, I like this play.
Liazi on the tail.
I like it.
Oh my god.
If he went for the wrap, I would have liked it more, but
Thieves get to 5.
And
I mean, just blame that Reyna top dash.
Havan Liberty,
Honestly.
I feel like they had it. It just seemed like the last few shots, giving the peaks up. You heard Asuna shoot. That doesn't mean you need to peak him. But there's also a game to be played there of how close do you let these guys get, because they will start to smother you. It's on a knife's edge here for Havan Liberty in those decisions, and it seems like 100 Thieves
I like the play, though.
able to pinch that pressure point still with the operator now.
From Jet.
All right, for Havan Liberty here, you've got Liazi who's
That
going
was
to
a
be
great
able to
call.
bring the Blade Storm.
I think I would have liked him going another way.
Online rifles the rest of the way, and they have, again, some ultimates that you can really get some value out of, but we've got to see how they chain it together. Now, this is a slightly different attack look,
Oh,
but
Nitro.
100 Thieves have just taken the middle of the map. They've just waltzed their way forward. There's nowhere to go.
Wait, what?
If you saw the dart come through on that too, Havan, you can
Why?
see.
Because he's got bad balls. I don't know. I thought he was gonna walk through. But oh my God! Hello, Hannah.
Like he feels, seems like he feels
I thought you were
safe
up
there.
for some reason.
Looks like we're gonna get our first B play here. Remember,
I meant like on her feet.
They do have the Viper wall to be used.
Oh, dancing?
How will 100 Thieves react?
What?
Doing what? Dancing?
I don't know. For some reason I thought you were in your room. I don't know. It tripped out.
Creeps their way forward. You've got
I haven't talked in a while. I'm getting kind of
playing on site, and they've got
sleepy.
on the side
Yeah,
of
I'm really running low here.
That can provide you space. That can get you something.
I'm fired up.
You're not fired up.
You've got to get past
Fired
both
down.
of those, past Asuna
You're
and past
fired.
Nitro, and that's much easier
Get out.
said than done. But here we go.
Doors that way.
Empress comes online. Asuna drops it instantly. Here comes the Viper's Pit as well. Can they? Were they going to have better success with that? No, it's actually the Blade Storm that gets a little something
I'm Viper
going
for
them,
sure.
tied up 4-4.
Nicely
Well
done.
done.
This is
Creeping
my
in there.
world. They're all
Those
just
fights,
living
you
in it.
cannot be afraid to do it. And that is going to be Liazi that's feeling good about the pressure. Moving forward,
Oh,
Ethan hesitating for a
Ethan.
second, but knows the
Gotta
movement
hit
and direction of
those.
most of the members now of Havan Liberty, as he saw a few more there on yellow.
They're going to have to take the fight to them and keep an eye on the minimap. Pletz is on the flank, and if this delays long enough, this is going to be a serious problem. The Killjoy ult's coming out. It's going to be countered by Crane's ultimate, and that's going to destroy it. So that's offline. Meeson's still playing in his smoke, in his ult, and he's able to get 2. Hiko able to trade it out. However, as Meeson's already good for 3, there's just 1 remaining on the side of 100 Thieves. Nothing doing. Hiko drops. Havan Liberty get 2.
These are the rounds we were not seeing Havan grab before. The rounds where there was an extended amount of time, especially once the site was being taken, the knowledge of the site being taken, and the full duration of the spike was what allowed 100 Thieves to get in. Havan changing things, changing things up now, and Meeson. We talked about the ultimates,
Yeah, it was
how they
very
could be strung
quiet
together round
first
for
map, too.
round, and no more hand in head.
He's,
Those are fist bumps.
Fired up.
Fist bumps. Definitely what you want to see if you're a fan of Havan Liberty, if you're a fan of the Brazilian region, and really, like, that's a big monkey off their back, right? Like, you've shown that you can do it, that you can make some magic happen, but for Nitro to get his ultimate online here, not going to be using it right off. Oh, he is going to be using it right off the bat, excuse me.
Thank you very much.
But that is going to come online. So Riv, A is not that it has been much of an option previously. You can't really get into A here.
Do you see him or spam him?
And Ethan
I
with the
think
one-way,
he
getting
saw
one-way
like a
himself
part of
as
his
he takes
foot or
3 shots in
something.
the
He did like a
shin.
crouch left
And now Havan again
and
slows
saw
down.
like a
The
part of
audio
him or
cut.
something.
Make 100 Thieves guess.
Gave it away.
100 Thieves had the read on Ascent. It seems like it's a little bit harder for them to read Havan here on ICEBOX. That hallway control going up into kitchen right now by Shion, but it doesn't look like they're going to go into tube just yet.
I like the way they're approaching this. That should give 100 Thieves a little bit of info, right? Watching that drone play out, now the wall's going to go up, so that should be your sign, right? Like, that should be the cue that something's coming, and that op shot certainly is going to help.
Wall.
The steal drops, and they're going to have to rotate over. 100 Thieves aren't there.
My word. Just got to mention how scary that was. Pletz just stood out there and used the wall. What a madman. He's got his ulti.
They're playing pretty well.
Have made sure that happens. They can get a decent res on somebody. Good frags already onto the side. 100 Thieves. It's Havan making sure they get another round for themselves here. 100 Thieves looking for the damage to be done to Eco.
Yeah, and they are going to save, both Hiko and Asuna are going to save whatever they have. So you've got a Phantom and a Vandal going into the next round. For Havan Liberty, I like the play from Xian at the end there. Roll the die a little bit, see if you can get a couple more ult orbs and hurt the economy of 100 Thieves, as you said. Nothing doing, but at this point, that's icing on the cake, right? Like, what you've got if you're Havan Liberty is you've got momentum. It's slight, but you've got something cooking, and that's a big win given how the series has gone.
Oh my goodness. He thought he was holding a one-way.
We look at that attack rate coming into the side of Havan Liberty on this, that 55% of the time they are taking that attack side. And it's actually the defensive side that 100 Thieves is stronger on. So for these rounds, again, what we were looking for on Ascent is happening on ICEBOX, and we're seeing now how much it matters. Again, Rez is up there. Hiko does have his ultimate for prevention. But it seems like Havan's been dragging these rounds out so long that Hiko has to be across the map when he's doing these ults, or they're going to find him immediately.
You've been to Brazil.
No aggressive push from 100 Thieves.
And you think
across the middle of the map this time, but
you think Brazil's in EU?
Worked his way all the way up to 410. And it looks like he's going to
be like near the UK.
They're going to play off of that drone.
You're like almost smiling. I know you're fucking trolling.
Get some info. Asuna's there for the swing. It's a perfect setup, and if not, they're just able to take all of that space away.
Remember when I said SA earlier?
So big.
Yeah.
Havan Liberty are just huddled up back in their spawn. They haven't left.
See how much forward movement they can get on 100 Thieves. I think they're happy to see Asuna pushed up all the way. They know how they can avoid one person that might be taking their head off right away. But this could end up being
South
a pinch.
Arabia, I
actually
think?
fires over what is Pipes and mid, takes down Ethan all the way into
South Arabia?
Kind of dry fires the ult.
Pretty sure, yes.
Not find too much as you see the healthy bars
Where's that?
on the side of Havan Liberty.
And that cleared out A, right? With Asuna's position.
No, I'm curious, man. I don't know.
You know A is not an option, so they are going to rotate off. And from that, like, Nitro pulls off, right? Like, he pulls off sight. They give up B because they are going to be able to fight much more effectively as a group. So now the trio's coming in. They don't have any ultimates to work with here. Steel has nothing but a Sheriff.
Is it the Ion Sheriff, though?
That's true. Automatic headshots.
Automatic headshots.
Oh, it's... Wait, South Arabia is not a thing.
Round 9 here.
That's not a thing?
No. Is on route to
sounds real.
It sounds real, right? I thought it was a thing.
Going Nitro, getting into half as quick as he can.
Maybe it is.
Take him down.
Who knows, really?
Ships in the night.
Bleeds is weak. Bleeds is weak.
It's the thing if you believe
Nitro
it's
drops
a
it
thing.
down to the 1v1. He spotted him, but the time is not. He did get it to half. He's going to get the challenge, and Liazi comes hopping across the screen, lands the shots, gets the kill, and the round.
Oh, he loses the operator. Oh, my word.
Damn, we got a little game lands here,
If
right?
anything could start putting a attack on those rounds, a negative point. It's unfortunate that it's those ones. You have great rounds, and then your toe was inside the Radiant Knight as it went off. Still has enough for an operator. Look at the bankroll. What a difference this game from Havan Liberty. We were seeing this cash on the side of 100 Thieves all the first map on Ascent. Havan has really turned this series on its head. And we look for that, Doug. Can they keep coming in strong? Seems like they can.
Adjustments from 100 Thieves on the defensive side. Different Viper wall. They aggressively take B-Long away.
Good
point. Look at how far up Asuna. Look at how far up Ethan are. They're going to challenge Ethan. He's been tagged up. 48 health. So B-Long is now not an option, right? Like in the previous round, A was where they felt the pressure. Now they're feeling the pressure from B. Yeah, they're going to bring Meeson back up, but they know where the space is, right? Like they know where the action is right now. That's a big kill from Xian as he's all the way into the belly of the beast right now.
And this was kind of a previous
Someone said
round
Canadian education.
Remember, Shion was working that too.
Canadian education, that's good.
How they might play it. Oh my word, the collapse coming through. And will it be Nitro to finish it off, Doug?
Nitro tagged up a couple. Asuna was there as well. Proverbial pants down as he gets caught. Liazi down to 3
shots,
HP.
3 HP.
That's all he's got. So an adaptation from 100 Thieves, right? And that's really what you want to see if you're a fan of North America. While for fan of Brazilians, you're seeing that momentum, you're seeing some of that build, you're seeing some changes, but for 100 Thieves, they feel the pressure. Havan Liberty has won 4 of the last 5.
Right.
You've got to do something different. They dial up that aggression down, be long, different Viper wall. That's exactly what they do.
And you get Sage res out. You've got the operator drop to steal as they throw down a Phantom as well. So they're cycling this out. It can be nice. That's one of the things that, just spamming it. So Nitro died there. Remember playing as one way? They double it up to play it different. They're able to get the kill as Nitro's not seen there. So like you said, versatility in that. But being able to switch the op between members of a team, you don't see that very often. That means you're going to be facing a different person at a site. Movement that you're not expecting if Nitro has it one time. Steel continues it for the beginning of the round. Havan Liberty definitely has to think about it.
Oh, so
too cozy.
that's an excellent start because honestly, the play is telltale right off the bat. When you've got that attack Viper wall going up, as we've seen the last couple of rounds, it means they like to go away, and it's because of that that Asuna's already back in their spawn, and it was all off of that wall hit. He's got to get the info, he's got to get the kill here, and if you're Havan Liberty, you cannot leave Asuna to wreak havoc on your back line. This is a really big kill, but no, Asuna comes away victorious. Yes, the spike is down, but again, they're pinched in. They've got nowhere to go. And Asuna's doing things like that.
This guy's different. He didn't need the ult, but the ult was for good measure, but he did not need that. He was feeling it way too hard.
And act on it is absurd, absolutely absurd. And then the snap
a couple accidents, but still sick.
Well, they're still just thinking about
that high sense right there.
It seems that's how quick it's happening. And this is when it gets dangerous. We know ICEBOX can be Asuna's map through and through. He's still fragging out hard here, but I think these are the ones we expected to see him whipping out. Oh wait, somebody here? Bow. Instant. When you surprise yourself as a professional player.
That's a good sign.
Holy moly.
Yeah, you know you're feeling yourself when that's your reaction to stuff. But again, Riv, I think like it was for Havan Liberty, like as much as they had momentum going, they went back to what they were doing at the beginning of the map, at the beginning of the half. And 100 Thieves read that like a book. You saw it as soon as the wall went up and the gates went down. Asuna knew that he had full reign of mid, right? Like, you just waltzed all the way down.
Yeah, and you see as well, as soon as they either know from Econ or it's a force buy, there were Stingers, there were Spectres, we saw some Guardians last round, that he wants it even more. He's like, oh, you're only going to take me if I come around the corner, and then I'll just dismiss or heal and be right back in the fight. Like, that's just a fire lit under him in those rounds when he starts to sniff out his opponents and there's blood in the water. Tactical timeout here from Havan Liberty. A little bit more damage has put them in a much better spot coming into the second half here, especially if they can make this a 7-5. And I do feel like they are starting to figure out how 100 Thieves works. And it seems like that's exactly what Havan were lacking coming into that first map of Ascent.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, I think a lot of it, too, is like, this pause, you kind of wonder, it's the last round of the half. Like, is it the most efficient way to go about it, knowing you're going to have the break in the second half? But I do think a 7-5 here, given how map 1 went, given how they've had some momentum here, is very different from 8-4, right? Like, this, as much as they'll still be at a deficit, that's a moral victory, if you will, that you can keep it at 7-5, that you've had something going here and carry that into the next round.
Ooh.
Good start. It's an excellent start. And again, look at the setup, right? It was the vertical wall. Asuna comes down, but this time they're waiting for it. They understood where the pressure was coming from. They waited until he walked into their laps. They punished him for it. Excellent adaptation by Havan Liberty.
Steal with that operator, still waiting for a quick peek. Now, he's only got 2 spots to really peek at here, unless you hear a drop and somebody's forward enough to hear that.
Right.
Or he's got his util out within that forward maze area. Almost a peek. Might have seen a knee, and he does the hip shot on the Aussie.
And they've got the Viper's Pet online on A now, right? So, again...
The only unfortunate part about tossing a jiggle is you just get them ready.
Work your way through that. They have to rotate off.
Yeah.
He's going to get excellent
in this game,
info.
you can't jiggle beta shot.
He's got the spike, right?
You literally just get the opera ready.
They're in a great spot. Hiko's going to be wrapping around them as well as he gets the timing right. 1, 2, there it is. He's able to land the shot. Pletz is left alone.
Are you kidding me?
The round fell apart because of the positioning that 100 Thieves had at the beginning of the round. Asuna notwithstanding, right? Like, they read him, right? Like, they played him like a fiddle. But the rest of it was so well played by 100 Thieves that Havan Liberty, the round was lost before they knew it.
Yeah. That deja vu, he go for 2.
All right, 3-minute pause. Everyone go get your snacks.
On that flank.
Your water, it doesn't matter. 100 Thieves won.
One of them,
like, it's over.
he had a bit of trouble on, but the other one's locked down and solidified it.
Cap.
As he continues to do what he can.
It's been an excellent start, really, from both teams, right? Like, we saw some adaptations. Things look great from Havan Liberty.
Havan gearing up.
They are gearing up. 100 Thieves shut the door one more time. We're going to toss it over to Sean over at the Telestrator to show his Galaxy brain yet again. Sean, she's all yours.
Yeah, Doug, my Galaxy brain. What I really want to show you guys today is how Havan came back into this match, right? Because things were looking really bleak for them. So I picked a round in the middle of the half, and let's just start it off for about 5 seconds here, just so that way we can see a couple pieces of utility. This Viper smoke is going to land in mid. The Sage actually slows by A, and we can pause here for a split second. And the Sage is slowing the orb to try to put pressure on that location, try to make the defenders believe it's an A hit. The Viper orb in mid, this is a very, very pivotal piece of utility in pro-level Valorant. And the reason being is because it makes the defenders lose vision of the mid push, so there has to be someone watching that side, under the tube, and through the tube. So you now have 3 locations to deal with as opposed to 1 player. Previously, the Sova sitting here, that could have had all of this information in mid. So this one smoke orb does all of that for them. Meanwhile, the Sova was lining up an arrow way over here in attacker spawn, I think, and it lands somewhere over here, and it pings Ethan and gets him off of this B site hold. That allows Havan to start working their way up this B main, and now we can kind of keep going with the clip. You can see Ethan falls back into the B site, and he does a very, very good job of stalling out this hit. He'll throw 2 one-ways on top of this long box, and Havan does a great job of not forcing the issue, not overextending, waiting for the plan to come through, and Xian opens things up with a Reyna Lear, and that's when the strat kicks off. And it's on Xian and Liaza to actually be very, very active here. And the reason why they have to be active is because they're trying to get the Viper ult down. And the Viper ult is a death trap for Vipers. I'm a Viper main myself, and the second you lay that thing out, everyone's spamming through it, it is a death trap. So they're trying to get some space for him. We can speed it up a little bit right now. We're going to speed it up, and once the Viper pit goes down, what I really want to show you guys right here, stop right here, is how Meeson navigates around the Viper's pit. You can see he's staying in the bottom right of your screen right here. He's not being active in it. He's not staying in the spam lanes. This is an off angle. Think about the angles you would have to spam to take him out. In addition to that, he's behind a Sage wall right here. So he's positioned himself in a very safe location. We can start playing the clip again now. And what you're going to notice now is that Sova will fall back post-plant, and he's actually going to pop his ult. So the Sova ult combined with the Viper's Pit makes it a very, very dangerous retake for 100. And the reason being is because this Viper ult is just chipping away at everyone's health. It's bringing everyone down to 1 HP. And just one tag from the Sova ult, and you're done. So things are slowing down massively for 100 Thieves. There's a lot of things to worry about. And Meeson is still just lurking in the ult. And he does such a good job of staying alive and getting 3 kills here. And this was what I believe brought Havan back into this map and gives them a chance at bringing us to a 3rd here. So,
Shroud, thank you for everything. I wish you great life ahead. Started following you during PUBG era. Was in college then. Now I'm on my way to become DSP police officer in India.
I do think the Rug is right, though, right? Like, that was the moment, that was the play that we saw. Like,
someone give me 50 bones. I can't read that. Oh no.
You've got something going on, and that's very important.
It did seem like 100
I don't have
Thieves
donations
always
up,
had an
but
answer to what Havan
listen, when I get back to my computer, after 100 Thieves wins these 4 rounds straight, 3, 6, 5,
the works.
6.
Like, well, we're not doing
how much?
The same thing
8 plus
every time. We're not just planning and falling back.
5 rounds.
And they looked like
I'll
they
read
were
it.
in the lead the whole round that time. That's the confidence Havan fans want to see, and that's the confidence the team's now bringing to the second half here
Everybody's
on
asleep
ICEBOX.
but me.
Like Sean said, we're looking much more.
Like a lot of juice. A lot of juice.
I'm juiced out.
Literally no juice in the tank.
They got a long way to go.
Fill
They
it
got to
up.
pass the 8
Just
rounds
low.
under Thieves. and keep it rolling.
Oh, they do have a long way to go. They're giving Asuna
a good start.
Our work is hard.
A bit of their own medicine. Shion showing anything you can do, I can do better. He opens up. He's able to get 2. Now they've got so much room to work with on A, right? 100 Thieves have to back up. That's not safe. You've also got a little bit of presence towards B long coming out of Meeson.
Get out of here.
That's big.
That area just like Reyna's playground. You get a dismiss. You got so many corners to play with, and Shion knows how to use it very, very well with the Ghost. A 3rd one of the round. Looking for a possible ace. That's the 4th, Doug. Can he sink the last shot?
No, it's going to be a long game. It's going to go to the 3rd map. It's going to a 3rd map.
Tell me he's going to just Indiana Jones.
100 Thieves loses.
Oh, he's fine.
Calling it.
Jig is up.
I got to close it out here.
He's like running around. Get me out of here as soon as you can. Meeson's flanking around as well, but are they even going to give him the pleasure to get that last kill? Shion looking for it, dancing around it. Somebody give it to him. No, bad guy Pletz takes the ace away. But a big round win for Havan Liberty, right? Like, you get the pistol. You should win the next round. All of a sudden, we're talking 6-8. That's a big deal.
2 pistols for 100 Thieves so far, 2 pistols for Havan. But like you said, how far can they carry this one?
Yep.
Wow, Shion with the first few shots, a little deja vu from what we saw, but it's not, you're not saying he played like Asuna, he played like Shion there. And he comes up with the 4K, excited about it, and that's what you need. You want your duelists, you want your forward players to get confident plays like that, so they are not second guessing any of their swings.
Right.
As we get into our 2nd round of the 2nd half, let's see if they can keep this momentum on the side of Havan.
Working their way right up the middle of the map. Shion is already taken B long away. They're going to play a little ring around the Rosie as they've already rotated around each other. The Viper's wall's going to go up. Crane spotted everything, and the shock dart to clean things up. They try to drop down on him. He's not having any of it. His Pleats is watching the flank as well. 2 of his own, but he's not going to be able to get the 3rd.
Chaos.
As he goes alone, he gets dropped. Okay, and that's, again, this is important for Havan Liberty, right? Because you expect that round to go their way.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, like, it's
right. And they didn't lose too much as well, which also matters. A lot of the times that Havan was gaining their rounds where 100 Thieves was able to come back on ascent, eco damage was done throughout the round, and 2 members were left from Havan. They couldn't continue to rebuy. Here, looks like we got some considerations and purchases, as it looks like they are very much feeling comfortable to bonus through. This is where they did get hurt on ascent. They went for the bonus, and 100 Thieves was able to string this along for multiple rounds.
Everybody's asleep, chat. It's just me.
What do 100 Thieves have on the attack here as far as positioning?
Again,
middle of the map, work their way on up, full rifles.
Cooks in the kitchen.
Oh, Liazi he's in a great spot again to make something happen. They're using the drone as contact, not going to get anything going. Shion's not Shion. Pletz is going to get the wall up and get the kill, but he gets dropped.
No.
Pushing through the Viper bite.
Are you kidding? Chill for a sec. You guys had him literally stuck.
But I like to play, and 100 Thieves are going to find the bonus
and every
round.
angle cut off. They had
Not
tube,
too much of a
they
problem
had window,
here by Havan
they had
Liberty.
sight,
This
and they
is
had
a huge round
whatever the heck this is called.
Grab it
Connector.
with that less eco.
What's that called?
100 Thieves are going to say rifles are the dominant one here.
Yep.
And now we'll see what happens when both teams go at it. Full util, full guns. Meeson
Are people so tired?
Like we said, he's your
5 a.m.
headshot machine. Put that in quotes coming from stage 3. These are the notes we got on this guy.
5 a.m.
He can make it happen. We saw
or
Sean describing his play,
5 a.m.
awareness
1
of the
hour.
situation. He can use that to really start to dominate the game.
I think Hannah slept
100
1.
Thieves now carry this one out as they get that 3rd bonus round away from Havan Liberty. We'll see if this is where
my mental's strong, you know, chat.
Ethan's so he's going to work the middle of the map, and there is an op coming out from Liazi who's going to be working mid. So if they give that peek, there's the room for trouble. But and here's the other thing, man, from Havan Liberty, like they've put that Sage wall up. Getting past 410 is going to be so much more difficult, and it's going to take so much more time. And off of that time, Havan Liberty have taken some of the mid space away.
And they know they're A. You already have Viper looking down long, unless they're all sitting in that little garage down at the bottom of B, then there's a good idea. 3 members stacked towards that A side from Havan Liberty, ready for the attack as 100 Thieves cut a bit of audio.
So Asuna and Ethan are both 1 point away from having their ultimates online. You could say the same for Shion and Pletz on the side of Havan Liberty, but I like this from 100 Thieves, really, right? Like, understand there's not a lot of room to work with cut. Oh my gosh, Ethan swings around the corner, left, right, good night, an op shot to the face, takes him down, not able to land the second, as Liazi has to back up. Just forget it. He hit it. Shion's gonna get in on the action as well. Is there only 2 members remaining from 100 Thieves? Asuna, he's got something cooking.
Oh my God, he's feeling
He saw it, yep.
The
Just the edge
equalizer.
of the weaponry there on the
I like
doorway.
this. This is when you push for sure.
Oh,
okay, now you fall.
And that's going to be a shot from
no.
Meeson to take him down.
He should have done that earlier, man.
15 HP.
How many times?
I know he's thinking like, damn.
He's got 2 shot guards, my man.
He popped that like 3 seconds earlier. They won the round.
In a 1vx, low
He could win this, but no way. No way, no how.
Once again, this time on the international stage, does he have it in him? Does that
There's
gene
literally no
work?
way.
Here in Berlin, you've got the 2 members of Havan Liberty creeping their way
Oh my
forward.
god, that was
Goes
clean.
good for
Oh my god, that was
1v1.
clean.
He's gonna get info.
Oh my god, he's gonna win.
That's not there. He hasn't even gotten it to have. He goes,
Oh my
Hiko lands it, baby.
Oh
Spencer
my
Ryder
god.
does it again. A Red Bull
He never
clutch for
fails.
100 Thieves.
And he just throws his hand.
I doubt him every
Like,
time.
What else did you expect?
And he never fails.
That's me. Absolutely disgusting flick. Understanding of the positioning, where he would need to be aiming. This is the experience we talk about when we look at 100 Thieves. And let's just watch this again.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
What do you mean? Chef's kiss.
How does he do it?
How does he do it? That's a damn good question, Doug. Oh my word. And that's a round that can really do it for 100 Thieves. That's the kind of stuff they thrive on.
I mean, that's backbreaking.
That is backbreaking,
Like,
absolutely.
You're
That was the gun round, right?
that's
That
game.
was the round
That's
to
a
proceed
tilter,
the bonus
for
round
sure.
for Havan Liberty.
Doesn't matter what happens
One
here, it's
that puts
over.
a lot of weight back on their shoulders.
Your mental's jocked. My mental's jocked.
Havan do. They don't have Blade Storm. They've got a Guardian in the hands of Xion, and he's shown he's pretty damn formidable with any weapon.
Oh, they didn't see him.
In his hands, but
Oh, they did.
he's got to make something happen here. Ethan having a good idea for they No, they don't swing at the same time. They isolate the gunfights, and Ethan's just able to knock out both. The timing was so bad from Havan Liberty there.
Just turmoil right now. The communication seems to be going a bit out the window. Great damage there onto actually Ozzy. So everything happening now 100 Thieves' favor. Spammed through the wall. He didn't even get to see anybody this round, and he goes down from damage through the walls. Nitro finishes another one there, and he's looking for a third.
Yeah, the wheels feel like they're coming off.
A little bit.
Yeah, for Havan, again, this is a lighter buy, right? So you don't expect
I love when you're
anything
spectating
crazy,
someone
but
and you can see their pings.
It's not just that they lost. It's
He
how
knew.
they
I don't know how he
lost, right?
knew,
Like some small
but he freaking
mental
knew.
mistakes, things that you really shouldn't be doing. That's what's concerning.
And a lot of the stats we've seen from previous events continue to tell true here for the side of 100 Thieves. Ethan, Asuna up top, assists coming in from Nitro and Steel. And Hiko there to make sure they have all the vision to do such. And it just continues to play out like that, and it seems like they have the rinse and repeat on
13-11,
if you will. Havan Liberty on tactical timeout here. Things are getting tight with 3 rounds left. 2 just for 100 Thieves to be able to get overtime out of Havan.
And this is, again, this is the right time. It feels like for Havan Liberty, the times that they have, like,
that's so cool.
Whoa. Let's pause, let's take a step back, let's recollect ourselves. The timing has been right, and honestly, we've seen some success come off of that. This is the moment for Havan Liberty. Yep, go ahead, call a pause. Maybe it was around too late. Maybe. But either way, right? Like, we're in a spot where we need to regain, we need to calm down, let's get our plan together, let's figure out what we're gonna do, because this game is not out of reach.
The things that 100 Thieves has a good lock on doing is really making Havan kind of push themselves to the limit just to get their gun rounds to work.
Yep.
So even if they do get through a round, they're beaten and battered.
Yep.
And it costs a lot to still get into the next one. So there's always these things 100 Thieves seem to be able to push onto their opponents that does make the game a little bit harder if you're not ready for the fights they're going to take or all the util they're always going to throw at you in the rounds they're going to clutch.
All right, so Nitro 1 point away from having his Viper's Pit online. Ethan and Hiko have their ults as well. On side of Havan Liberty, you've got
You're kidding.
They can do no wrong.
Who have their own. First kill already going down. So that wall out from Havan Liberty, delay things at 410. That res is going to come out to equalize things at 5.
Liazi one off Xion with the Empress against Ethan and Hiko with their ultimates up as well. So the spike plan even has to be placed differently. They have to have a little bit more control on these.
Yeah, this is an interesting approach here from 100 Thieves, right? Because as you mentioned, the spike nowhere to be seen. They have heavy presence towards B, and they haven't shown a lot, right? Like, as far as Util, all they know is there was a drone over there. That should be everything, all that they've been able to deduce. So you don't know there's a ton over at B, and yeah, I think because of that, very well played. They're going to rotate off.
He heard the drone! He heard the drone!
No.
Oh, what a rat!
No.
What a rat.
What a
Steve
rat.
playing super smart.
Yeah, Ethan ulted, canceled out. Steel's able to get one. Ethan's able to get the lurker as well. So now Ethan's in a spot where he can blow up the middle of the map on the rotate and really kind of take away any hope Havan Liberty have of taking
Good news
control
is
back
tomorrow
of the side. And
we should be more awake.
Slowly start to push their way out of the site. They
Nobody here
want
slept for the
blood.
most
They
part.
want that ob out of Liazi's hands.
Cool.
They want Plex, excuse me, Phantom down as well. They're going hunting.
Nitro's just waiting for a few calls of where they could be. Oh, spammed him from mid. You love to see it. Hiko just shot him in the face. Oh my word. Liazi trying to get a move onto that. Steel's gonna get taken down as it just goes back and forth right quick. And now it's Pletz to do what he can in the kitchen here. Ethan will find that hat trick on the round.
Yo, did I call it or did I call it?
They are just seeking out Havan Liberty.
It was 13-3 first map. I said 13-4. And then I said 13-6.
Match point,
second map.
Series point for 100 Thieves.
Am I back?
As
I think
they've
I'm
really
back.
been able to
My predictions are back.
Havan Liberty across the board, right? Like the early game, the mid game calls, really everything, attack, defense. It's really just been a complete performance out of 100 Thieves and Havan Liberty. We mentioned before this map has been a bit better because they've shown a little spice, a little something, but it just hasn't been enough.
It is the experience, the adaptation coming in for 100 Thieves, and it's
Not
so
to talk
quick
too loud.
too. A few rounds will be Havan Liberty's.
Sleeping beauties here.
100 Thieves will figure out how to route that strategy. Now coming in, 3 ultimates here on defense. That one's gonna get dropped here with Hunter's Fury. Doesn't pick anything up as Steel opens up the round.
Dude, they're going so fast.
Oh my.
Look at how deep in else Austin is. Of course, he dies as I call him out, but they got in through the Hunter's Fury. Or excuse me, Hiko still has that Hunter's Fury, but the ults are all there. They're able to get the Vipers pinned down. Austin was like running at them in their spawn, and now Liazi's dropped as well.
Oh my god, NA #1, as always.
Hit him hard. That's exactly what they've done. Now Hiko's going to use his.
As always, man.
Not getting anything going quite yet, but Steel does. As
How are we so good at video games? We're built different. Am I right?
13-6 win on the second map. 100 Thieves. They start off Berlin.
We should have like 8 slots for champions, I think.
They've been waiting a long